So we do Netivot Shalom על התורה, Sefer, ויקרא. We have two Parshiot this week. This is not a leap year. So we have Behar Bechukotai, right? In the mountain and my laws. So this one is from Bechukotai, Chukosai. So אם בחוקותי תלכו ואת מצותי תשמרו ועשיתם אותם ונתתי גשמכם ביתם, right? So if you will follow or walk in the path of my laws and rule, and you keep my mitzvot, and you do them, I'll give rain on its time. And the Rashi, it says, אם בחוקותי תלכו, possibly that this is fulfilling the mitzvot. כשהוא אומר, ואת מצותי תשמרו, הרי זה קיום המצוות. אמור, מה אני מקיים בחוקותי תלכו, שאתם אומרים בתורה. So he said, so Rashi explained, he said, what is בחוקותי? Would be the mitzvot. And when it says, and mitzvotai, so you already said chukot. What is the mitzvot? So tishmeru, to keep, to guard, to fulfill, to do, it's an action. This is the mitzvot. So what I'm fulfilling, if you walk in my path of my laws, there is laws and there is mitzvot. So he said, you amelim b'Torah. You should put an effort and work in the Torah. That's the thing, in the Torah. ואת מצוותיי, so the mitzvot that you should keep, ואת מצוותיי תשמרו, ועשיתם אותם. Rashi bring, right? הבאו המילים בתורה על מנת לשמור ולקיים. So you should learn the Torah in order for you to fulfill the mitzvot and to keep them, to do them. Otherwise, how you will know what to do? You need to learn the Torah. You need to learn the mitzvot, about the mitzvot. And it's appropriate to explain why the reward that was promised here in this parasha, right? Because Hashem said, if you walk in my path and you keep the chukot and the mitzvot, you will get rain on its time, etc., etc. So he said, so what the road that was promised here, רק על שתהיו עמלים בתורה, ולא על קיות המצוות תקופה. He said, the reward is promised for learning the Torah and not for fulfilling the mitzvot literally. ובעצם הבטחת הברכות. So we have a big question here. It's a classic question, and the Rambam already answered, or part of it, right? שכר מצווה באי עלמא לקה. So we know that the reward of the mitzvot is a spiritual reward. So how is it possible that Hashem will pay us here in this world reward for the mitzvot? Right? I just noticed that my video was not working. So how is it possible that we will get a reward for the mitzvot in this world? So it's not. So therefore, the reward is for learning the Torah. ויש לומר, we should say, according to what it says in the Holy Book, that there is no reward for the mitzvot in this world. And therefore it says on the עצם mitzvah, שהמצווה עצמה גבוהה, because the mitzvah itself is very high. Because yes, you do a physical action in this world. However, the mitzvah itself is connected in heaven to something else that we don't know about it. Spiritual world. So, and therefore, if it is spiritual, then there is no physical reward that could pay for that. But for the yearning and the desire that we have to do a mitzvah, and the hidur, when we do much more than what we've been requested, right? We do, what is mehader? Mehader, that you make it more. You make it beautiful, right? Whatever, do it with a smile, with happiness. You're supposed to do, I don't know, whatever, one, and you do 5 instead. So when you mehader in the fulfilling the mitzvot, for that there is a reward also in this world. As the Saba Kadosh Melochovitz Zechotol said, "Eta bezohar kol berchan delelav etata b'mash v'kan," that everything, all the blessing and the abundance that we have from heaven and from here are all depending on the 7. He said that the blessing in the spiritual matters is from the essence of Shabbat, but the physical matter, the thing that we get, they're not been withdrawn from the Shabbat Kodesh, which is higher than higher, and you cannot like withdraw or bring spiritual thing from a higher place to this low level world. But from the extra time that we're adding to the Shabbat or whatever we do extra during Shabbat, that's like the Tosefet mitzvah. It's an extra for the mitzvah. And from that, you have the blessing for all the Gashmiut things. And also included, שמצווה לספר דבר זה לפני הבעלי בתים. He said that we should tell this to the בעלי בתים, right? To us, to the people that work in keeping Shabbos. So they should add more to the Shabbat. Maybe accept Shabbat 5 minutes before, 1 hour before. Take out Shabbat 5 minutes after. And this is what I just said, בפירוש, אם בחוקותי תלכו, שתהיו עמלים בתורה, you should be putting the effort in the Torah, which is not about the mitzvah itself, והגית בו יום הלילה. So he said, so it's not related to the essence of the, or to the mitzvah that we have to learn Torah day and night. Because again, we don't get a reward for that in this world, but only for the Hidur mitzvah. So if it's difficult, or for example, asking questions during learning Gemara, or really trying to understand things, not just to hear it and it gets from one ear to the other ear outside, right? And we don't remember, like to put an effort. That's the effort, really to understand. And it says what it says in Torah Avot on this pasuk, Telechu. What is Telechu? The letter of Taf Lamed Chafav, you can change the order to Kalot. From the Tehillim, it says, Nechsefa vegam kalta nafshi, like my soul have a desire, but it's like my soul is being consumed by the desire to learn the Torah. Which means if Bechukotai telechu, if you walk in the path of my Lord, you will fulfill all the mitzvot with desire, real desire, and then we can keep the mitzvot. Or the Shlomar, we can say furthermore, the reward that was promised to us by Hashem, specifically on the Amelut B'Torah, on learning the Torah, and not about the Kiyum the Mitzvot, because there is no reward for the mitzvot in this world. It's according to what it says in the Torah Kohanim, right? Sefer Vaikra. Melamed, it's teaching us that Shehamakom itava sheyu Yisrael amelim b'Torah, right? So Hashem have few wills or few desires, right? Metaphorically, but it doesn't have really any lacking. Right? When somebody have a desire for something or a yearning for something, it means they have lacks. But here, it is metaphorically like Hashem wants to dwell in this world. Hashem wants us to learn in the Torah. And therefore it says, Mi iten vaya levavam ze lahem leira oti kol hayamim leman itav lahem velevnaim leolam. So Hashem say, I wish that their heart will fear me all days, for their benefits and for the sons of the descendants forever and ever. So it's teaching us that Hashem have a desire that we will learn the Torah, besides keeping the mitzvot. Right? You cannot keep mitzvot without learning Torah. You cannot really, there's no point of learning Torah if you don't keep the mitzvot. But this is something that Hashem really have a desire for, that we will have learning the Torah. Right? And Hashem is mishtokek. שתתייגעו בתורה, that will put an effort. And according to what the Rambam wrote, הלכות תלמוד תורה, משנשאו ליבו לקיים מצווה זו כראוי ולהיות מוכתר בכתר תורה. Said, anyone that have his heart wanted to fulfill this mitzvah, to learning the Torah, and to be crowned with the crown of the Torah, which means שיש עצם קיום המצווה של לימוד התורה, so there is one mitzvah of learning Torah, that he learned Torah, is fulfilling the mitzvah. But the one that actually is heart, bringing him, elevating him, having the desire to fulfill this mitzvah properly, really to be crowned in the crown of the Torah. So he shouldn't be distracted by other things. And we know there are some Gedolim that were 24/7 only in the Torah. Right? They didn't learn, they only learned. They didn't work, they only learned Torah. ולא ישים על ליבו שיקנה תורה, right? And we know so many stories about the Gedolim that they were not distracted. One of the stories I think was with maybe Rabbi Kanievsky or Steinman, one of them, that they thought there was a food and they were eating, and they told the wife, thank you, the soup was delicious, and said, which soup? What are you talking about? She said, I just ate the soup from the pot. Said, no, there was something there, I just soaked it with water so it will be easy to clean. He said, okay, it was very good. Or somebody that was eating, I think, a paper towel. He didn't even pay attention. They put the plate with the food, and he would just reach out with his hand, you know, he's eating, and then they say, okay, where is the paper towel? I don't know, but it was delicious. So they were not distracted by anything, right? We are not in that level, I wish. But he says, but this is the way of the Torah. You should eat bread with salt and drink more water, and you should sleep on the ground. But again, this is metaphorically, right? But the bottom line is that not to be distracted and to put the focus and the priority on the Torah. And according to the suffering that we'll have, because it's not easy, right, to learn Gemara, for example, it's something very complicated, very, very difficult. So the word will be according to the first suffering. And the Rambam mefaresh sachar, so we will get the reward for the mitzvah in upper world, but in this world, according to the suffering that we put and the effort that we put, we'll get the reward for that here in this world. And the source and our sages says, you're worthy or happiest if you're doing that, because you don't get the reward for the mitzvah, but only for the suffering that you have in this world. And Hashem wants us to be learning the Torah. And that's why he gave us the reward that will get rain, right? Geshem. And Geshem is Gashmiut, is physical thing. And we're returning back to the same question, if there is a reward, a spiritual reward for a mitzvah in this world, and the answer is no. But Hashem is giving us reward because of the effort that we put, because Hashem wants us to learn the Torah. Another option is that if, for example, somebody puts tefillin, so Hashem gave him his hands, you know, so otherwise you cannot put tefillin. If somebody mehader the Shabbat, Hashem will give him extra money, maybe to buy more food, or hosting people, he gave him more food and more means to facilitate that. So it's not a reward for the mitzvah that he did, Hashem just helping him to be mehader in the mitzvah. And the same thing with the Torah. And it says, Yenita b'midrash Tanchuma, Noach lo kara, right? Parshat Noach, that lo karat HaKadosh Baruch Hu Brit Yisrael ela al Torah sheba'al. So Hashem didn't have the covenant with us, but only on the oral Bible, right? The Torah sheba'al peh, as it says in Shmot, ki al pi hadvarim, right? Pi hadvarim, the mouth. So this, according to these words, karati itcha brit, I had the covenant with you, and this is the Torah sheba'al peh. It says, shekol mi shoev osher v'tanug, anyone that love wealth and pleasure cannot learn the oral Bible, Torah, which is Gemara. לפי שיש בצער גדול ונידוד שינה, ויש מבלה ומנבל על עצמו עליה. Right? Learning Gemara seriously, really to understand the Rashi, to understand the Tosfot, to understand the Sugya, to understand the Marsha and all the other thing, this is not easy, it's difficult. He said, only the one that really love Hashem will learn it. And he ended up with says, and their reward is that will be the hidden light, spiritual hidden light. The people that walks in the dark will see the mighty light. And this is the light that Hashem hides specifically for the Amalei Torah, for the one that learned the Torah. And because of the tsar and the egia, right, effort and suffering that the Jew is sorry for that, but again, it's not that you're getting sorry on a negative way. It's like when somebody wants to be really strong and he's going to the gym. So he's suffering in the gym, right? Every way that he lifts, his muscle ache, his pressure, blood pressure, he's exhausted. But he keeps doing it because this suffering actually brings him to the goal, the purpose. So it's not a negative suffering. It's a good, it's a positive. So the same thing with learning the Torah. And Hashem did it in this way, so we will be putting the effort in the Torah, so you will get a reward, not only the spiritual reward, but the reward in this world. Nimtza, and we're returning here and we're concluding. She'af ki sechar mitzvah ba'ai al maleka. So we said that the reward of the mitzvah, it's not in this world. Aval sechar chayet tsar, but the suffering that we put, this is in this world, the reward that we'll get. So how we please Hashem? By learning His Torah, because this is what He wants. And His Torah to learn is not easy. And because it's not easy, it's difficult for us, but we don't let go and we try to understand and understand. So we suffer from that. And then Hashem will give us the reward in this world from this one. So thank you very much for listening, and we should learn more Torah, Bezrat Hashem.